This is massive. According to NBA Insider Ian Begley, he reports that Mitchell Robinson could miss training camp as he's dealing with rehab and trying to clear the hurdles in order to join the Knicks to start training camp. We're going to break down these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Mitchell Robinson could miss training camp for the Knicks. If you ask me headed into this season, what's the main position I'm worried about for the Knicks? It would be the center position. Why? Because we have Mitchell Robinson starting. And there's no hate toward Mitchell Robinson. When healthy, he's an offensive rebounding juggernaut. He's a great defensive player for the Knicks. He's obviously limited in terms of what he can give you on offense. But defensively, under head coach Tom Thibodeau, he does fit this team when healthy. But the when healthy part has been the issue. Each and every year of his career, he's starting to get injured more and play a lot less games. And that means he has less of an impact for the Knicks. And now, according to this latest report from Ian Begley, it seems that those same injuries that limited Robinson last season for the Knicks are now causing him to potentially miss the start of training camp. Let's break down these latest reports from Begley here. Mitchell Robinson is also rehabbing a surgically repaired injury this offseason. Robinson had surgery in mid-May to repair a stress injury to his left ankle. As of earlier this week, Robinson has not yet been cleared for high-intensity weight-bearing activities during his rehab, per people familiar with the matter. So Robinson has to clear several hurdles before he gets clearance to fully participate in training camp. Ian Begley also answered the following question about Robinson on his latest edition of Ian Begley's mailbag. This is the question he was asked. Ian, if Mitchell Robinson goes down again, teams will hold the Knicks hostage when dealing for a center. This team is deep, but history points to him going down. Leon needs to get it done before the start of the season. And this is Begley's response. You make a fair point, Mike. The Knicks will be dealing from a position of desperation if Robinson gets hurt early in the season. I know the Knicks have explored different avenues via trade to acquire another center. Given the current roster construction, I assume they will continue to explore their options at the position. Shout out to Ian Begley of SNY for giving us the following information about the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, and potentially him missing training camp. Now, he could potentially miss the starting training camp or he could miss all of it. But this is not good news for the Knicks. You have a starting center in Mitchell Robinson. When healthy, he could lead this Knicks team to dominance, especially on the defensive end of the ball. But if he's still dealing with injuries, he's still rehabbing, how healthy is he? Is he only going to miss the start of training camp? Is he going to miss preseason? Will he miss the start of the regular season for the Knicks? These are all still questions we do not have the answer to. But as of right now, given this latest report, it does not look good for Robinson. Apparently, he still has to clear several hurdles in order for him to get ready to start participating in training camp for the Knicks. As Begley stated here, and I just want to go back to it, he mentioned Robinson had not yet been cleared for high-intensity weight-bearing activities during his rehab. That matters a lot. That means potentially he can't put the weight that he likes on that ankle. And if that's the case, can he jump the same way? Can he block shots the same way? Can he have the same type of impact we're going to need him to have for this Knicks team when we have championship aspirations? These are all the questions I have right now. And given this latest report, it doesn't give my mind any peace. It makes me more worried at this point because I don't know what percentage of health Robinson's going to enter the regular season in. Will he be fully healthy? 90% healthy? 95% healthy? Because if you ask me, if he is not fully healthy to start the season, then he should not be starting the season. The Knicks will have to pivot and do something else. And right now, that makes me even more worried because if they pivot, the starting center's likely going to be Precious Achiuwa and the backup is going to be Jericho Sims. That worries me. Jericho Sims, given everything he's done in this league up to this point, is not ready for the moment right now. And Precious Achiuwa, he can play backup 5. But ask yourself, should he play that role? Should he start at the 5 spot? Or should he be backing up Julius Randle at the power forward position? These are the conversations we need to have. But him potentially missing training camp is not good news. He has to clear several hurdles, ladies and gentlemen, in order to be able to participate in training camp for the Knicks. However, let me say this. If Robinson doesn't play or misses time, it's going to give more opportunity to another player. And that player I'm looking at is Jericho Sims. Sims right now, if everybody's healthy on the Knicks, will never see any time on this roster because I feel the backup center for Mitchell Robinson right now is Precious Achiuwa. That's what we're going to see. And for Julius Randle, if you're wondering who's going to back him up, if he needs a rest, it's going to be Josh Hart. We saw it last year, and we're likely going to see it again this year until we get a legitimate backup 5 behind Mitchell Robinson that Tom Thibodeau trusts more than Precious Achiuwa. But if Robinson can't go because he can't get past his rehab or clear the necessary hurdles, then potentially that gives opportunity to other Knicks players, potentially to the rookies as well, too. Jericho Sims gets an opportunity. Ariel Huckaporty gets an opportunity. If somebody's not able to go and we are down somebody, especially at the center position, the Knicks will look elsewhere to see who else can get that opportunity to shine. It could be Precious Achiuwa. It could be Jericho Sims. It could be one of our rookies. Or potentially, it could be the player that the Knicks sign with the MLE. And I think all the reports have been consistent. The Knicks are looking for a big man right now to back up Mitchell Robinson. And by the way, the backup to Mitchell Robinson, if Mitchell Robinson can't go, would likely be your starting center until Robinson returns. So let's keep that in mind. I also want to point out here as well, because Ian Begley did report this too, the Knicks currently have Robinson, Achiuwa, and Jericho Sims as possible centers. But according to Begley, he would assume that the Knicks would continue to at least explore their options to acquire another backup big man. Based on this report from Ian Begley, and obviously what we just covered about Mitchell Robinson potentially missing training camp, I think all signs point to the fact that the Knicks will use that MLE to get another center on this roster that potentially they can use during training camp. And if Mitchell Robinson cannot go, they potentially have a decision to make on their hands here. Is Jericho Sims going to start? Precious Achiuwa going to start? Or whoever they sign with the MLE is going to start? Because whoever they start at center, that's going to say something about how they view other players on this roster. If they start Achiuwa over Sims, that says something. If they start the player that they utilize the MLE for, that's also going to say something because it's going to tell you who they value and who they see long-term on this team. Right now, I don't think Jericho Sims is going to be a long-term asset for the Knicks going forward. He's likely going to be utilized in a trade for the Knicks to get another important player on this team. I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm just saying that's what it looks like is going to happen based on all the reporting that we're looking at right now. We're going to have to see what happens in training camp. Training camp is going to matter more now than ever before. If Mitchell Robinson cannot go to start training camp, then that means opportunities are going to exist for Jericho Sims and for Ariel Huckaporty. Whoever works hard enough in training camp, in my opinion, that's going to go a long way in giving them consistent minutes moving forward for next season. And I think if Jericho Sims is that player, it could mean a lot moving forward for him and his value on this team. But again, he's not the only one that's going to get that opportunity. Mitchell Robinson going down is not a great thing. I don't like it. It's not great news to my ears because hearing that our starting center is still dealing with some type of injuries, even though it looks like it's lingering injuries having to deal with his rehab, it's still concerning to me. But where there are concerns, there are also opportunities. And I guess we know now why the Knicks have been looking consistently for another backup to Mitchell Robinson, because clearly they knew what we didn't really know until recently. Mitchell Robinson is not fully healthy, not yet. He's still dealing with things. And as he's dealing with things, the Knicks are going to be vulnerable because we do not have the depth that we need at the 5 spot. Even if the Knicks use the MLE and get another backup big, it still doesn't mean the Knicks are going to be very good in terms of holding down that 5 spot while Mitchell Robinson recovers. But at this point, we don't have any other choice. But what about you guys? What do you think about these latest reports indicating that Mitchell Robinson, due to his rehab and all the injuries that he was dealing with last season, could potentially miss the start of training camp? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.